Get you back. So anyway, but yeah, that's keeping up with the Bidens, y'all, and we'll see how this. I know this year ain't gonna end right, but
garbage and sanitation workers. No, they want to live in big houses that they see on videos.
You know, my thing is, I thought it was funny because it was the caller that did it, but at the end of the day, it's, hey, when you're a public figure.
That the whole thing makes me sick to my stomach.
You know what I'm saying? 99.9% of the time, I love living in this, country that we're free and we have this freedom of speech. But every now and then,
yeah,
when she did
listen.
The
brother, if she could turn back the hands of time, Doc, ain't no Dave Chappelle, I'll tell you that.
And so you need to be put out and put on notice. The hell no.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, y'all. Happy Monday.
Thank you, Halle Berry. I sure appreciate you. That's an inside joke. Hey, it's Monday, right? I guess we can't play like that no more, right? Don't be playing like you something that you ain't. But what's up, y'all? Listen, it's been 7 days since I seen y'all. Y'all doing all right today? That's good. I'm excited. Listen, I'm not gonna play around, y'all. We got a lot to talk about. I don't have a lot of topics, but I do have a lot of comments for the ones I do have. I really hope y'all ready to talk back to us today. Ma'am, can you bring the family on? Thank you. I appreciate it. Sir, gentlemen, and madam, listen, y'all look like a whole glass of water today. And I mean, on a hot Texas Monday. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Yeah, you got ice, you got Kool-Aid package, you got sugar. I mean, we all ready. Just lovely. Oh, y'all. Listen, everybody all right?
I'm good. What's
going
on?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the best morning show that you can watch at night. So, and we're here and we're live and we're about to talk about a few things. So that is Black, that is Devin, and that's Kenny. And the lady running the hour with the power is Brittany. Let's go ahead and get started, man, because I don't want to belabor the time. Listen, little problems. Let's talk about the new Little Mermaid, right? No, she's not your normal Ariel. And I just hope that, and I mean this with all sincerity, I just hope that none of the little characters are gonna be gay. Just let the lobster be lobster. Let the candle be the candle. Just don't take it all from us, right? Come on. So anyway, y'all, listen. There's a situation here about the way, and again, have y'all seen this trend? The way Hollywood is trying to really invoke this minority push to getting things done. For me, I think it's a very great publicity stunt, if you ask me. But for the sake of the people, I don't really see the desire to want to get into this situation as it relates to people receiving us. So the new Little Mermaid's coming out, but it's coming out. What do you call it when it's not a cartoon?
Live action.
Live action. Okay. So, but it's not like a play. So when it's a movie created from a cartoon, it's just live action. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, so live action, and guess what? Ariel is Black. Now I would clap my hands, but I think a lot of people have a problem with this. And it's not even that I know. Why? Because we got social media. And social media tells us that they have a problem. And how do we know this? It's because guess what? They're mad. On YouTube trailer for the new Little Mermaid, there are 1.6 million dislikes.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Y'all got that much time on your hand for y'all to dislike this. And here's the problem. They don't like the fact that they have changed who she was from the cartoon. Here's my issue with y'all hypocrisy. Do y'all know how many years we've had to see y'all play Moses and all the Jews in the 10 Commandments and made them look like they all was white? But y'all mad because somebody don't look like what they supposed to look like. Y'all been doing it for decades. Charles Heston was supposed to be Moses. Moses wasn't white. So the hypocrisy that you guys are giving us today with this whole, well, they messing up well, y'all listen, we only doing what our oppressor has been doing to us for years. Ma'am, what you think about this new mermaid?
Maybe I'm a conspiracy theorist, but
Okay, well,
I
let's hear
believe
it.
there was a ton of controversy about this before the trailer even came out.
Oh yeah.
I believe somebody like lit some type of match. I think if the trailer, I'll be honest, I really think if the trailer would have just come out, there wouldn't have been much talk about it at all because
Really?
only young. I mean, there would have been some stupid people, but I don't think it would have been a bigger deal enough for us to even notice it because most of us don't have like really young daughters that we plan to take to see Little Mermaid. But I just think it was made out to be a really big deal even before the trailer was released. And so it kind of got people talking and saying things or whatever. And yeah, there may have been an issue with it. But I don't know. I personally didn't know what the big deal was. I think it's a fictional character. It really doesn't matter kind of what she looked like. It's a fish. It's not like it's the little girl from The Princess and the Frog where it's based in race and things like that. Or Wakanda where it's based in racial injustice and they need to be black. It's a freaking fish. I really don't see what the big deal is. I really don't. I think some people are stupid, and I think for a lot of people, it's not that big of a deal. But I also think Disney is loving the publicity this is getting because it's more publicity than any cartoon Disney film. Even Beyonce doing The Lion King didn't get this much attention. I just think that someone struck a match and threw it, and we just took the bait.
Brittany says there's a meme that says all them Africans y'all threw in the ocean, and you're surprised there's a black mermaid.
Yeah, I saw that meme. Actually,
Okay,
man.
so
Yeah.
let's take it a step further. About 20 years ago, they did Cinderella with Brandy and Whitney,
And there's a backlash with that too.
but not okay.
Not as severe as this, but yeah, it was.
That's
some
right.
backlash
That's
about
what
that.
I'm. Yeah, I got that. So Kitty, to your point, where is it just social media that makes this more now intensified than when we saw Brandy and Whitney? That what you're thinking?
I definitely believe. I agree with that, Brent. I think social media now, it can make things seem bigger than they really are because you got so many people that can comment and share and create memes, and a lot of times they can create controversy when there may not be controversy there. But in this particular instance, I just think this a lot of times mayonnaise folks don't want their fairy tales spit on.
Yeah,
That's really what it is. They want to keep what it's always been, and they don't like it when we, people of color, we decide that we can make a character that our little girls and little boys can aspire to be and tell the story from that perspective.
I love
That's
what you're
just my
saying.
opinion.
I wish we could clip some of our comments together and replay them because exactly what you said, they're fairy tale. And as soon as we get in some more of these topics, I'm gonna bring that back up because that's interesting. Black, I got a comment from Twitter for you. One of the tweets said, "People are mad that the Little Mermaid is black?" Question mark. The lady who is also a fish, who lives under the sea, whose best friend is a talking crab. But y'all mad because she's. What's up, DJ? You gotta be real racist to be mad at a cartoon. Yes, sir. Spoken like a true brother. Black.
But this is
all fiction.
It is, but this is bigger than this. Bigger than that. In my personal opinion. It's a sign of the times. You're right. When Brandy played Cinderella back in the day, you got to remember this is a conglomeration of a couple of things happening in terms of where we are right now culturally. Now, you mentioned, that you didn't even know who Halle Bailey was. So number one, she doesn't have the cachet and popularity that Whitney Houston and Brandy Norwood did. That's one. You need to factor in also that, after the tour from Donald Trump, racism was always there. It didn't bubble to the forefront like we see it now where it's in our face. These people were giving a license now to voice that opinion. It was there before, but we were living in some type of utopic society then where we pretended that it wasn't there, hence that heralded in the time when we had Obama in office. But all the Band-Aid has been pulled off now. So now people are saying what they really feel, which I respect. Having said that, now you need to understand this is about representation. So this is bigger than cartoons because they're not just angry with the Little Mermaid. There's backlash with Star Wars. One of my favorite shows on Prime TV right now is the Lord of the Rings sequel. Now, and so the idea that, white people can accept fictional characters such as hobbits and elves and this and that, but the idea that any one of these fictional characters would be somebody of color, oh my God, it's up in arms. And don't get it twisted. Hollywood, the powers that be, they're not casting these roles because they love us and they're down with representation. This is about green. We're living in the most precious time in the world. On the one hand, we're the most racially divided the country has ever been, but at the same time, everything African American culture is also making money. Rap is at the top of the heap when it comes to music. And so you take this young lady who's playing this character, she has a social media following like no other. Add to the fact that she's talented, she can sing. And so this is about money. This is about casting her because Hollywood and the powers that be, they want to take advantage of a segment of people. As long as they can make some money off of it, that's fine. But they're not doing this for altruistic reasons. But at the end of the day, to me, this is about representation, and seeing ourselves, on that screen like everybody else. And you guys were accurate to point out the fact that for decades, they've cast in our churches Jesus Christ, as a blue-eyed blonde, so the inaccuracies,
Fantasy.
they never stop, but
Right.
that's okay until somebody else wants to be represented.
Right.
They're so angry that we are taking away their fantasy. I mean, my goodness, man, it's fake. Is it the equivalent to how many feel about making these characters gay? That's a good point. We'll answer it in just a second. Hey, Bama girl, good to see you.
Hey, what's up, Bama girl?
Shout out to my daddy. Says Civil War is in process, and today is his birthday, y'all. So,
Happy born day,
birthday, sir.
Papa Haynes.
Right.
Yeah, so appreciate it.
My mama's birthday today too.
Oh,
Happy,
good.
happy born day,
Now,
mama.
wait a minute. I hope
Mama
we don't
Black.
have a no.
Hey, brother.
hey, like Tupac said on Poetic Justice, we all family.
Yes, sir.
You
That's
at the
true.
family
That's,
reunion.
you right
So,
about
that.
that.
I go.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, okay, so let's answer the family. Okay, let's see what Brittany said. Right, Black. They want to duplicate the success of Black Panther. Critics were also surprised at the success of Straight Outta Compton.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
that's true,
okay.
too. Yeah.
Well, that shows even more ignorance on their part if that's what they're really coming for. Okay, family. Like I said, that's why I did the topics the way I did, because I knew we were going to talk about this more. So let's answer Lamar's question. Is it the equivalent to how many feel about making these characters gay? I don't want to start first. Kenny, you're the most level-headed here. I'll let you go first.
Why you put all the pressure on the
Because you level-headed. You won't be you'll just keep it above board. I think we're going under in a few minutes.
So now I'm the captain of the ship. I got to keep it above water. Okay,
just long as you ain't
gotcha.
on the Titanic, we're gonna be all right. Come on, let us have it.
Is it equivalent? Man, that's a damn good question, Lamar.
Okay, well, I'll come back to you if you ain't.
I think it is equivalent, but
Yep.
I think people are more accepting if the character is gay than it is black,
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
and that's just my personal opinion.
See, that's why I let you go first, because see how you did that.
Absolutely.
All right, sister, I'm gonna let you go.
I mean, I think the social norm is, it's easier to accept, someone of color, I'll say that, opposed
Thank you,
to
DJ.
someone who's gay. And if they were to use a gay character, it's also easier to accept a couple of lesbians than people can accept two gay men, especially if they're masculine. But I think over time, as people evolve and things change, to black and white and things like that. Like it was very uncommon and uncomfortable for a lot of people to see so many black people on the screen. And now it's uncomfortable or whatever for so many people to see homosexual people or transgender people on their screen. But after a while, just like people don't notice a lot of times folks of color on the screen, I think after a while, unless it's overly sexual, people aren't going to really notice that. Now, as far as sexuality in a child's fairy tale, Brittany, what you said, sexuality has no place in a child's fairy tale. I mean, I don't know. I hear a lot of people of the LGBTQIA community say that their representation as just as well as black people want representation and Asian people want representation and any people. And I just think that is just not something that people are okay with seeing. And let's be honest, especially us black folks, because, folks in our culture stay in the closet till they die, and they just bring that one friend that's been living with them since they was 20 years old, they roommate, and they ain't roommates. Because I just think that's not a norm in our culture. But I think as time evolves, it won't bother us as much. And I know I watched P-Valley. Things that bothered me when I first started watching P-Valley, after a while, I'm gonna be honest with you, it was like,
We are never scared to talk about stuff. Black, come on, because I want to say what I had to say.
So the answer for me is yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
On its surface, you could say that this is about representation, and somebody can make an argument for that. My problem with it is that we're talking about a state of being versus behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, if you just showed up on screen and you're whatever culture, nationality you are, that's fine. I could care less about that. When you interject behavior in there, but the problem is that the behavior is being thrust down our throat to accept that. And that for me is where the line divides for me. I also have a problem with the fact that sexuality has now been thrust ahead of our civil rights. For 400 years, we've been fighting for the state to be, just the state to be. And somehow over the last probably 20 years, who you sleep with in your bedroom has been made the greatest topic of the day. That's the problem I have with it. So a lot of times things come out of my mouth might be offensive, because I'm an equal opportunity offender. But having said that, my thing is this. I swear, I put on the souls of my two brothers, I could honestly care less about your sexuality. That doesn't bother me. I've been desensitized to that. But my thing is that don't force it down my throat. If you want to be respected for who you take in your bedroom and you want to say that that's your choice, well, the operative word here is choice, because I want to have that choice to not accept that behavior if I want to. So my problem has always been with the LGBTQ is the fact that you preach acceptance, and that is supposed to be the backbone and crux of who you are, but you also happen to be the most unaccepting people in the world, and there is my problem with that. And so my thing is, we're talking about two separate things, splitting hairs. So we're just talking representation, if a guy shows up on the screen and he's black, Asian, white, Indian, that's fine. But I don't want to know what you do in your bedroom as much as you should know what to do in my bedroom, what I want to do in my bedroom, So, once you go down that slippery slope, then that's where, to me, it starts to take a left turn.
The reason why I wanted y'all to go first, because I was going to see if y'all was going to help me change what I was finna say, and y'all didn't. So,
okay.
I'm finna say what I was going to say. So, Lamar, you tell me if I make a good point too, because you said all the good points. So here it is for me, y'all. This is my issue. I'm gonna take the low hanging fruit and then I'm gonna climb the tree. The low hanging fruit is that the fact that, as Black said, this is about a decision of sexuality versus what we came out of our mama's stomach, right? It's that those two things, and I hear you. Well, we was born that way. I got you, but the problem is that's not how it's been from inception. So that's not the same thing for me. And again, argue with your mama. But here it is. This is the problem for me. Right and wrong has always been the way that we have kind of articulated our position about things we agree or disagree with. Here's the cyanide or the carbon monoxide that we're missing. There is now a conversation that's being had in multiple communities about now being right and almost right. And I'm gonna give you a quick example and we'll move on. Here is right and almost right. The word separation and segregation almost sound the same thing. But the problem in separation means you choose to. Segregation means you're forced to.
Mm-hmm.
We're being forced to put up with what you guys want to see equality in. That's not the same thing as separation. I want to keep things that are mature and for the mature separate from those that can't handle it. That's right. The reason why the internet is a problem, because everybody's got something to say, the fools and the smarties. So I don't have a problem with you doing what you want to do, but let's separate these things, not segregate these things. Right and almost right. And I'll leave it at that. All right.
Okay.
So at this moment, this is not about segregating the masses from, well, we everybody should be treated equally. Yes, that's true, but this is not what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody is disgusted with the fantasy that they think that they had all those years when they were kids, just because a group of people came together and said we want to start our own country. All right, I'll move on from that moment. So that's what we got to say. The movie will be out. Guess what? Again, we always talk about the worst thing besides racism is classism. Mm-hmm. And y'all putting money in their pockets. Because why? Because y'all just getting riled up. Good old Americans getting riled up in this place.
Yeah.
Right?
Good old America.
That is. So, all right. See, I knew it was going to happen. All right, what we got next, man? Ooh, Kamala who? Kamala who? Listen, y'all. Listen, if anybody has ever disappeared in politics, this young lady has. I mean, she did the Houdini act on us, right? But now, again, them good old Americans, they brought her back into the spotlight. Y'all remember Abbott and DeSantis has been sending the migrants to other cities, right? And they've articulated this point really good. They said that, well, if y'all the sanctuary cities, well, let me bring them to you. Genius, I get it. Although it still has some inhumane articulation to it. But so now they decided to go so far. See, this is where you start pushing the envelope too far. Now they took it to where they dropped off some of the immigrants by Kamala's house. Y'all just want some smoke. Y'all just want it. They want it. They asking for it. So 2 buses of migrants from U.S.-Mexico border were dropped off near Vice President Kamala Harris's home in residential Washington on Thursday morning in the bitter political battle over the Biden administration immigration policies. The reason why they did this, y'all, and I'm gonna let y'all have it, is because she opened up her mouth and said this. He said, I think this is I do too. She said the border is secure. Again, I understand the fight in politics, but what I don't understand is why don't y'all get y'all hands dirty? Why don't y'all take the scars and the bruises and stop putting these pawns in this chess game that you playing, because you are messing with people's lives. Because all she said something, she's not correct. Of course, I get it, but y'all being petty and sending these people who thought that they were being given an opportunity. Again, I'm like Devin in this moment, why it becomes so desensitized to me, because we grew up seeing this with our own people. So now for you to mistreat these people, that ain't nothing new. I'm not surprised that y'all treating people this kind of way. I'm just surprised Kamala opened up her mouth and thought they wasn't gonna come get her. So, Black, does Kamala deserve what she gets?
Yes. In a word.
That's all you're gonna leave with a word?
No.
Okay, good.
Because for me, she didn't disappear. She was never president in the first place.
Whoops.
She is a rubber stamp vice president. A deal was struck that we're going to bring you on board and you'll get the claim to be the first female vice president and woman of color. And we can't take that away from you. You'll go down in history. But you shut your mouth, you stand in the corner, you don't say anything. He never wanted her. And so he needed her to win. The truth of the matter is he needed a black woman to win the black and the female vote. Who he truly coveted was Stacey Abrams, but a white older man can't win with a fat black woman. You know, the picture, the aesthetics of it. You know, I don't mean that to be insensitive, but that's the God's honest truth. And he couldn't win with her. And who he also coveted was the female mayor here in Atlanta. Who after 1 year resigned as the mayor. You know, wouldn't rerun. And now she's working for him, you know, so the wheels are turning behind the scenes to possibly to get her his running mate. But anyway, back to Kamala Harris. She deserves it in the sense that she doesn't stand for anything. And so opening her mouth in this instance, you know, the disrespect is real, but it's always been real. And my problem, though, is as bad as I feel about her as a representative of us and people and politics and whatnot, I lay the blame squarely at the table of the Democrats as well.
Yep.
The Democrats operate under the principle of, you know, turn the other cheek, and the Republicans, they fight to win. So for me, I try my best to stay neutral because I have to keep my blood pressure under check. I'm a fat black man. But I get angry when you irk me because the Democrats have no backbone. And the idea that they could do this with no retribution from the other party speaks to who they are.
Ma'am, what you think about all this?
First of all, I want to say I can't stand Hot Wheels, and I wish somebody would stick a broomstick in his wheelchair so that he can't roll nowhere, or make him go real fast, and then somebody should stick their foot in it and make him fall out. I think what he did to these people was really, really cruel, just as cruel as me talking about him and calling him Hot Wheels. I don't know how that this is okay, you know, with so many people. People go, I saw somebody on TikTok got 1 million views or 4 million views going against her because they thought she left her dog on the balcony of her apartment opposed to being in the house. But nobody's up in arms by how these people are being treated who are humans. I decided a long time ago that Kamala was just a prop. You know, she didn't, I think she was told that she can only speak so many times a month, and who she can speak to is basically to be seen and not heard. She's a hood ornament is what she is. And she was just put there to help with votes. I don't think she was meant to actually have a voice, but I think that was cruel. I don't care what she don't mean nothing to me. But I just think what they did to those people was cruel, and that's unacceptable. And I hate that people aren't up in arms for them treating human beings like they were freaking dolls bought out of Target and dumped in this woman's yard.
Yep, exactly.
Bravo.
Exactly. Kenny. Hey, Miss Toria. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, Miss Toria. What's up, Miss Williams?
All right, Kenny. Close us
out. I want to say this. Double D Devin kind of went where I was going to go, and that's okay. I would say this: Republicans. I would tell them that was well played. It was a photo op, and I've been in the media industry for a minute, so I know when political parties, both parties, when they do stuff for a photo op. The Republicans did this for a photo op. The midterm elections are right around the corner, so they know that this is gonna spark their base big time. Far as Vice President Kamala, it was total disrespect to a black woman. What they did, it was totally disrespecting, and I believe they sent some to former President Obama's neighborhood, if I'm not mistaken. They were trying to, from what I've read. This is total disrespect to black folks. They've always done this, the Republican Party. But I will again, I say it's well played. But at the end of the day, the people that's suffering, like Devin said, those people are humans. Regardless of their background, where they come from, they ain't no damn cattle. They ain't no animals. They humans.
Yep.
And for Governor Abbott and that damn governor down there in Florida, DeSantis, to pull this stunt, total disrespect. But that's how they roll though. So yes, I'm not surprised. So yes, it is what it is.
I'm gonna tell y'all the audacity of this country. They're trying their best to rid us of the history that plagues them about who they really are, but they create new history by repeating the old history of discrimination, of inhumane practices. So it doesn't matter what y'all show us, what y'all try to take away from us from history. I mean, y'all just repeating history all over again.
They just doing what their daddies did. That's in their DNA. It is what it is, you know.
Yeah. So all good, y'all. We just report the news. So if something else go down by all this, we'll see, man. But it's really kind of trying to even the playing field with this whole November election coming up. So midterm election, but we'll see. They sticking by their guns. What we got next, man? Follow up on forgiveness. Yeah. So listen, we talked about not too long ago that Biden had gone ahead and they made sure that you guys, I think we got a snapshot of what it looks like, right? Forgiveness. And Devin, you know, I know you was like, hey, y'all let me know what's going on when it's going down. You said it doesn't matter at all that the migrants are coming over illegally. It does matter. That's the argument GOP is making. Yeah, again, that's politics, right?
But they've been coming over illegally, so that ain't nothing new.
Right. And again, Kamala dropped the ball by saying something silly like the border was secure. I mean, come on, Kamala. You ain't don't say dumb stuff. They already gonna come get you.
Right, exactly.
Don't make it easy for them.
Right.
Yeah. So back to forgiveness. So here it is. Here's an update for you, for all you those that want to try to participate with this loan forgiveness. The next step, a simple application will launch by early October. Once completed, borrowers can expect relief from within 4 to 6 weeks. Fill out an application before November 15th to receive relief before payment pause ends. Sign up at studentaid.gov/debt relief to be notified when applications are available. So, hey, that's just the information. If you guys can think that you can qualify for that, by all means, please do. So we just want to keep you guys informed, and you all tell your family and friends so that way we can take advantage of some of these things that we got here, right? Exactly. Yeah. So
can I give one quick disclaimer on that? Since I work
100. Our resident, yes, sir. Our resident ISD.
I work in education. Here's a caveat, what they call caveat emptor. Bias
salute. Salute.
Yeah. Every now and then I roll out the education.
Well, come on here, sir.
So, here's where the buyers need to beware. Keep in mind, the IRS just recently went out of its way to hire an army of individuals, yes, sir. To get ready to sick on Americans who took advantage of the system.
Yep.
So be careful sometimes. All gifts that are wrapped are not truly presents. And so sometimes when you make it easy for them, we just talked about Kamala making it easy, where you identify who you are, where you are, what you owe. Just be careful.
And he ain't stutter either. All right, DJ say he paid his off, so he good, Joe. All right,
I hear you, DJ. That's what's up.
Man, that's what's up. So, ladies, he's available. He has plenty more money. Y'all go see him. All right, man. What we got next? Kenny. Oh, we just talked about that. You sleep? What you doing?
What up?
Right. Yeah. All right, Kenny. Let us know what's up, man, with these sports.
What up, family? I'm gonna give you an update. How's everybody doing? Everybody all good? Right. Miss Devin, I thought you look like you got on. Is that blue? Is that some blue you got on? It ain't blue. Oh, I'm surprised you ain't wear no blue because your Cowboys, they got the first win. So I gotta give props to them. Cowboys, they got them one. Right now the Eagles are up 14-7 on the Minnesota Vikings. We got 2 Monday night games going on right now. Tennessee and Buffalo is playing the other one. But anyway, so I had to give a shout out. I can't mess with Devin today. They got to win. So anyway, we're gonna keep it moving. But we got to talk about a former Packer. If you know me, y'all know I'm a Packer fan. I'm a cheesehead. I'm from Wisconsin. I was born in a mill town. Well, we talking about a former quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, Brett Favre. He got some splaining to do to the state of Mississippi.
Yes, sir.
Man, I can't even. This is so detailed. I just can only give you the cliff notes of what Brett Favre is going to have to answer to. Some text messages were released last Monday that show former Mississippi Governor Phil Bryant and Hall of Fame quarterback Brett Favre drew up a proposal to use welfare funds on the building of a new volleyball stadium at the University of Southern Mississippi. You probably wonder why they want to build a building at Southern Mississippi. Well, Brett Favre's daughter played volleyball at the University of Southern Mississippi. The way they drew this up, they were going to use a nonprofit organization by someone that was in that office by the name of Nancy New. Her nonprofit, they worked together to channel at least $5 million of the state's welfare fund to build the volleyball stadium. And these text messages, they got receipts. Now, New has already pleaded guilty to 13 felony counts related to the scheme. Favre received $1.1 million to be the spokesperson and to speak, and he never spoke for anything of it. And he eventually paid that back, but now he's being sued by the state, a civil suit, for the interest that he owed, which is roughly $260,000. And now that's all we know right now. There has not been any criminal charges brought against him and former governor of Mississippi, the good old Phil Bryant. But man, it's some explaining to do, Brett.
Yes, sir.
You got some explaining to do. Brother Black, what you think about this?
I think this is par for the course. This is what happens behind the scenes when you have a state's favorite son, money that they feel like nobody won't miss. Let's talk about the fact that Mississippi is the poorest state in the union. And so again, the fact that they allocated these funds and made it happen, you know what? It's sad. I'm smiling, but it's sad because let's not get it twisted. That's happening in every state all the time.
Yikes.
These are backdoor deals that happen all the time. This is politics at its finest. And I always tell people this. While our eyes fixated and focused, we like Sauron and Lord of the Rings, we focus on the big race. You know where the true crimes are happening? It's at the smaller local levels.
Yep.
That's where the money that truly affects you and I could give a damn about Biden, Obama, Trump, or any of them. They're billionaires and millionaires. I'm never going to see them, meet them, eat with them. I could give a damn about them. What matters to me on a local level that affects my life every day is my trash going to get picked up. The roads that I travel across, how are they going to get fixed? So this $5 million that's being allocated, this is a direct impact for people in one of the poor states in the United States. And you'll get a slap on the wrist, and he'll make a little restitution, and he'll suffer a little bit of an indignity, and he'll go his way. Because we won't truly clean the swamp out. Politics at its finest need to be done away. They want it on every level. They need to go in and clean out all of these damn snakes, and again, don't even get me started on Mississippi. I was born in Meridian, Mississippi, and then the dumbest damn people in captivity. And they need to actually set off a bomb in all of Mississippi and get rid of all of them.
Oh, I hear you, Brother Black. I'm with you. Miss Devin, what's your thoughts on this crazy, this fraud?
Was the Mississippi the ones just drinking water that looked like a fresh cup of coffee?
Yeah, that's Jackson. Yep, that's Jackson. Yeah.
That's what I thought. So they misappropriating funds for foolishness like this, and these folks can't even wash their behind and drink clean water without a risk of catching some kind of cancer or horrible organ. I don't understand it. I think these people yeah, they'll get a slap on the wrist, which is sad. But I think they should go to prison. I just wish it wasn't federal prison because they'll go up in there and get conjugal visit and Hilton accommodations and all of that. But so I don't even know if I really want them to go to prison because they get treated good in prison. Federal prison, the only place you can go and still get booty from a woman. We ain't gonna talk about what that is. Some of them, the other prisons, they got to be pussy. But the federal prisons, they actually get the real stuff. But anyway, that wasn't a cuss word. Anyway, and these people should be ashamed of themselves for treating these people like that, and they should somehow be held accountable, and they should have to somehow contribute to these people being back, because they can't be that. I don't want to talk about Mississippi folks. I'm not going to do that. But they can't be that smart to allow this to happen, and ain't nobody there to speak on their behalf. They need decent representation. Somebody need to go in there and clean it up for real.
My goodness.
Brother Brenton, man, Miss Devin, you laid it down. Brother Brenton, what you got?
I don't know if I got nothing else to say. Y'all said, listen, I guess when Brett dies, we'll just overlook his stuff like we're gonna overlook Barry Bonds and you know, all them other baseball players that just cutting up. So, you know, again, Mississippi. I'm glad it's Mississippi and not some other towns that got a predominantly minority population. So, you know, again,
I'm not glad it's Mississippi because I actually did some homework and I went and looked up Mississippi where they rank when it comes to income and their economy. Mississippi, according to 2019, they're the number 49th ranked state, and there's only 50 of us. Yeah, in total economy. So that tell you how bad the economy is. They're number 50 in employment. Their average median income is $45,792, and their unemployment rate as of 2022 was 3.6%. But yet you got these rich white men down there taking money from the welfare system, from those people that need it. A lot of those people of color, let's go and keep it funky. They look like us that ain't got nothing, and you stealing from there. You trying to siphon money to build your nice little volleyball gym for your nice little Becky. Come on now, y'all stop it, Mississippi. Stop it, Mississippi. Y'all better prosecute old Brett Favre. And I'm a Packer fan. And I'm telling you, but I don't give a damn about that football because he down there taking from people that need it.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
He don't need it. He grossed over $140-some million in the league. And you stealing, you trying to steal money to build something. Come on, bro. But anyway, that's my TFG Sports Break. Back to Brent.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. That is the American way, right? You spend everybody else's money but your own. So that's how you do it, man. And so, you know, that's what we've been doing. They've been doing for years. All right. Where we at next, man? More atrocities. Listen, I think GoFundMe is a very good means to assist people when they have problems. But I mean, I don't care how much money they raise. I got a problem with what these knuckleheads did to the young lady they raised the money for. So there is a young lady. Now, listen, I can't put it no other way but to shoot it to y'all straight. So this man was pimping her, maybe even raping her. I don't know, but she killed him. This little young lady, she killed her. I got so many names to call them. I'll let Black give some colorful names.
Yeah. I'm waiting on that because I know he got some.
But this girl got 20 years for killing somebody that was doing things to her, like assaulting her sexually. And I don't understand how the justice system rolls like this. So in Des Moines, Iowa, there's a 17-year-old girl who said that she was a sex trafficking victim who was ordered by the courts to pay $150,000 to the family of a man she stabbed to death after he raped her. Let me keep going. Great. GoFundMe raised $200,000. Fine. Fantastic. And so now she has to pay restitution to a man. She also received a deferred 20-year prison sentence that will be expunged if she successfully completes 5 years of closely supervised probation. Prosecutors described the sentence as merciful for a teen who had been horribly abused. And the judge said the law compelled him to order this $150,000 payment, but it struck many observers unnecessarily harsh. And y'all got a problem with reparations? Are y'all kidding me? Kenny, I mean, listen, I'll just throw a whole bunch of minnow in the water because there's just so many ways we could find problems with this. I mean, which one you want to take? He took us to Iowa.
Well, it's a couple of ways I could go with this, but I can say, first of all, the justice system in this country is jacked because of the laws in different states that they can do things and they can convict people on different ways. And for this young lady that was sexually trafficked, she was sexually trafficked and sexually abused, to have to pay restitution to the man that abused her, to their family. That's an atrocity first and foremost. And for the judge to say, well, I have to go by the law. Well, no, you the judge. You can, it's up to your discretion.
You are the law.
You are the law. So you can choose to not do it or not. So don't give me that excuse. Number one. Number two, and I hear it all the time, but now I really believe it. I think our black women are the least protected in our system. Black women are our least protected people in our system. This young lady was sexually abused and trafficked since she was 15, 16 years old. And then she killed her abuser. And now she has to be on probation for 5 years for killing the guy that abused her. What kind of sense do that make? Crazy. Don't make sense to me. Then you have to order her to pay his family $150,000 restitution. Come on, man. Again, America, and I did something on this. I did an open mic and I said America has an infectious disease and it's called racism. And until we go to the Most High and want to get healed, this country is going to continue to be sick. This is a sick story. But anyway, that's my thoughts.
Black?
I don't have a whole lot more to add to it, and believe it or not, I'm tempering everything inside of me. Again, I'm just trying to stay calm. I want to piggyback on something Brother Kenny said. Not only are black women, black women are the most demeaned women on the planet, the mean species on the planet. Animals are treated better than black women. Trees, causes are treated better than black women. And this is the way it is. Black women fall on the totem pole when it comes to value. You know, the depictions that they have on Discovery Channel and how they show African women in general. And even right here in the country that's supposed to be the greatest country in the world, you know, the way black women are depicted and displayed and treated. So it's no coincidence that this is the case. And Charles, in his comments, he identified the state. This is where we are, people. This is what it is. And my expectation, the bar is so low with what I expect for how they treat black women until I don't have nowhere else to go with this.
Right.
And so I'm a 54-year-old man. I don't look for justice I live in Atlanta. And this is a black city. I don't look for justice here. You know, we need private justice.
Right.
To be perfectly honest with you. I hate that we've kind of evolved and got to this place where some kind of way we bought into this fairy tale that they give a damn about us and our women. When a lot of shitty stuff come out of my mouth, and sorry for saying it that way, you know, and I talk about nasty. I love me some black women. I love them. Mm-hmm. I love them. I revere them. So, you know, if I call them nasty, filthy, no goods, you probably know what I think about the others. I love me some black women.
You said you're going to temper it today.
And that's the God's honest truth, you know?
Yeah.
And so I'm saying that to say that my sisters, looking for justice from this world,
Yeah.
screw the country, it's not going to happen. We need private justice and to deal with things in a different way, because expecting anything good to come from a court of law when all the court system is an extension of the racism that our people experienced in the 50s and 60s. They just took on a different role. That's all it is.
Yep. All right, ma'am, go ahead and give us your thoughts.
Well, first of all, he's trash. I'm glad he's dead. I hope he suffered for a really long time before his life ended. I hope he had seizures and just sat there and shook and everything until the police got there. So I hope that was a horrible, horrible time for him. I'm thankful for the GoFundMe that helped this young woman, and I hope that it continues to gain momentum and she will be over this with a significant amount of money so she can start a business. And I hope she has someone in her corner to teach her what to do with this money, because let's be honest, we don't know where she is mentally, and I don't want her to be the next OnlyFans star or TikTok star. I just hope somebody's in her. I'm being honest. I just hope somebody's in her corner to show her the right thing to do and to help her get an education and things of that nature. What I also want to say is, I don't know if it'll matter, but I've just noticed that Black people, Black women, even more specific, are starting to penetrate certain areas in the justice system and the certain courts and things of that nature. And I know for a minute, let's be honest, you have to play the game to get in there.
Yep.
But I hope that when that area is penetrated, that some of the laws start to change to benefit Black women in particular, Black people as a whole. Because this is sad, and I don't think that she should be paying anything to, I believe it's his wife and children. Will get life. And I mean, if he's that type of character, she probably enjoys that he's dead. So she was blessed because her husband's dead when she probably should have killed him before she had them 2 kids by him. But anyway, that's something else. But I just hope that Black people penetrating the justice system will at some point start to make a difference in laws and things of that nature.
I agree with you. You know, probably the most beautiful thing that should happen is the family should at least give that girl some of that money. But that's all things being perfect and and right. But all right. Anyway, we'll move on from that. What we got next, ma'am? All right, madam. Ooh, she got some. I mean, some songs are just really good, even if you hear them about 10,000 times. So it's just the same old song. What you got, man? Who business you in today?
Speaking of a waste of air, y'all know me. I was just sitting at the house minding my business, flipping through YouTube. And Pastor Thug Passion, aka New York Pastor with Lamar Whitehead, was having his little usual sermon, standing there in his Christian Dior suit, when some woman in the congregation began to heckle him. He asked the woman, "Do you want to come up here and do this?" The woman started approaching the pulpit. He started speaking in tongues, which I think is fake. I think he sucked. And now I'm side-eyeing the congregation. Y'all dumb as hell. Anyway, so when the woman came closer to him, and let me say, he was also upset because she was live streaming his sermon, and he was like, "So you want attention? I'm gonna make you famous, whatnot." So she came close enough where he was able to grab her by the neck, because he was telling everybody to get her out of there. Well, it didn't happen. He was able to grab her by the neck, and she was escorted out of the church. She did press charges, and he was arrested, but I think the later charges was dropped. Let me be honest. No, I'm not. I'm gonna let y'all be honest. Brenton, what do you think about Pastor Papa for Pimp?
If I had to be honest, I really think he's a washed up stage play director. He's just using his church just to do like Trapped in the Closet or Trapped in the Church. Listen, I know all got convicted and you just trying to, I mean, come on, bro. It's just whack. You know what I'm saying? Even the way I really feel like, to be honest with you, the church deserves this because for what they've done for all these years. And and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying every church is out there not trying to do right, but the ones that's getting the attention is the ones that we have set back quietly and allow people just to do whatever. And so now that they get a platform and they get and all the people just want to be nosy and getting their business, and they just making money. And so that woman who got choked, I wouldn't be surprised if they went together in high school. I don't know, whatever. It's just something weird about all this. It ain't making no sense. And so I'm about as done with this as I was with reality TV when when I found out that they was using scripts. You can't use scripts on reality TV, player. So he whacked. And so anyway, that's what I'd say about that.
All right. Ken, I'm curious. How you feel about Transfer Passion?
Man,
right.
I got a couple of things to say, but I would say this. I noticed that the police show up at his church more than Jesus. That's all I know. So any member that's still going there, you crazy, because I didn't see more police there than Jesus. Number one. Number two, this clown is an actor, in my opinion. He's a scammer. Ain't no God in him. He can say the tongues and speak in tongues, and he grabbed this woman by her neck. Okay, so that right there tell me he a woman abuser. So anybody that follow this cat, and sometimes churches can be a cult. That's gonna keep it real. Sometimes no matter what a preacher or the leader of that flock does, no one is gonna find any wrong in that. But this dude right here, he's a scammer. Ain't no truth in him. Ain't no God in him. And he's a fake. He's a phony. He's a Reverend Ike. So if y'all want to continue to follow that, so be it. But I'm going to tell you, y'all going to have more police than Jesus at that church if you keep going there.
Black, he was literally laying on the hands at the church. Did you get a glance of him laying on hands of the congregation?
I did. And I found so much joy in that clip. I thought it was just beautiful. That brought so much joy to me. The only thing the only people that I have more disdain for than politicians is phony preachers. And it's ironic that Kenny mentioned Reverend Ike. So he went way back to 1970.
Yeah. I told my age. I told my age. Yeah.
But I love that because they've been around forever. And so my thing is, foolish people who put their trust in false prophets, you can see him coming a mile away, the way he dressed, the way he talked. But the fact that fools continue to show up. My mama taught me a long time ago, she said, one fool will make many. And so for me, showing up at his church, expecting to be delivered, this is what you get. Now, watching the little clip, I'm glad he ushered her musty ass up out of there. He should have wrestled her ass to the ground and drug her out by her feet. That she's talking about scratching her neck. That big bear, he had to get that bitch up out of there. So I don't have no problem in the world with him.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Time out.
God bless him. In this case, you got my blessing. However they do that in the Catholic Church, you get my blessing for that because you had to get her by the neck. But as far as these preachers, whether it's T.D. Jakes or Joel Osteen, they all crooks, and anybody who follows them, you deserve what you get. So God bless you. In this case, it brought me joy.
Time out, bro. Time out. Wait, I can't breathe, dog. I can't breathe.
First of all, I don't really believe nothing I saw, because when they drove those people to church in that short bus that they got off of, he took all of their phones and equipment. I feel like now he does things for attention. And that heifer was online showing pictures of her neck, talking about it got scratched, but then she dropped the charges. Maybe she gonna try to file a civil suit. And wouldn't nobody try to file a suit against him. This dude comes straight out the pen. And he fake. Ain't nobody gonna play with him in New York. So I don't believe nothing that was going on there. They need to be worried about them sheets he got hanging on the wall of his church, talking about their decorations. The freaking suit he wears is worth more than the time he put in them old rag-ass fold-out chairs and sheets. They put their dumb ass in that congregation every Sunday and listen to this fool speak and give him money. They deserve everything that happened to him, because everybody knows black folks today, we's free. You ain't got to sit up there and be no fool and do what nobody tell you to say. So they deserve everything they get. I hope he take their house, their car, their money, unless they in there under 18 and diagnosed with mental retardation. It ain't no reason for them to sit there and fool with that foolishness. He gonna get all of it. He gonna take all their houses and stuff. I'm gonna help contribute to his Louis Vuitton suit that he buy next off these dumbass people in this congregation. And now I'm gonna go back to my own business.
Bravo. Bravo. Bravo.
Thank you, Victoria. Thank you, Victoria. Between Lee's antics and, I mean, sister, she just go from 1 to 90 like that. You hear me? I was like, she ain't coming back for like 10 minutes.
My goodness.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it. We got plenty in his business. Yeah. So I think it's all foolery, and it is what it is. So thank you, ma'am. I sure appreciate you. Yep. We got one more for y'all. Listen, we've been lifting some weights today, y'all.
Yeah, we've been in
0 to 100.
Yeah.
So 0 to 100. So yes, sir. Thank you. She said the best YouTube show is TFG tonight. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, man.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. And we appreciate your support too, because she supports the show.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. All right. So there's a couple of clips we're gonna show here, and then we just gonna have a conversation again from a black perspective about things that go on. And I know it goes on in quite a few people's homes, no matter what ethnicity you are. But let's roll this first video, and then we'll talk about it. I didn't know how much narrative played a part into what you see, because if that word was 32-year-old man did this, we would all see it at a whole different light. Thoughts would pass our brains. But they said a 12-year-old boy did that. And again, it creates thoughts in your mind. But here's the problem with the internet. Let's show the next video.
Okay, so now you know it's me. It's me, it's my son, it's my house. No, he's not 12. It wasn't over a cell phone. He's 15, he's 6 foot tall, and he's 270 pounds, so no, I couldn't spank him. We try to clean up as much, but yeah, the damage is real. The window is still broken out. The marble is still broken, not going away immediately. So I don't know what anybody wants from me. My son is mentally ill. I've dealt with this for 15 years, and it just sucks that I trusted someone and they sent the video out. And
wow,
I'm gonna just start with Black.
wow.
Y'all bringing me so much joy as I go to bed. I'm gonna sleep like this is so funny. This is so funny to me. She coming on camera talking about, oh, he's not 12, he's 15. Like that make a difference, you fat dumb bastard. You she's snotting and snoring. Oh my, while she's handing the camera around. in what world is this okay? You know, if you wouldn't be focused on them big spider eyelashes you got on and them hoop earrings and whooping some ass, then maybe you wouldn't have this problem. In no sane world is this possible, except if you look at her age, she's a young parent that clearly doesn't believe in discipline. And whoever the friend is, bravo. You should sit it out to show how dumb you is. You fat bastard. You deserve everything you got.
Ladies and gentlemen, I started with him so that we can work our way down from that moment. Okay. I started with him to work our way down. That's probably as far up we're going to go with that. Now, let's come back down. Kenny?
Oh man, I always got to follow Black. Boy, I tell you,
I apologize.
I gotta clean up where he done messed up. No, seriously, on all serious now.
There you go.
I actually saw this video prior to the mother, because I didn't know what was going on. I just saw that her house had been destroyed. Then I saw the video later, and she said that it was her son. Here's the problem, man. Where's the daddy? Where is the daddy to help this mama with this grown man? I'm physically he's a grown man. Obviously, mentally he's not. But physically, mama can't whoop him. Where's daddy at? And that's the issue, man. When something like this happens, mama trying to figure out, that's her baby. Do she want to call the cops and they come out here? And my son kind of has some mental issues, and they quick to kill us. So mama probably is like, no, I don't want to do that. That's my baby. Yep. So mama in a big she's in a real tough situation. It's heartbreaking. But again, daddies, we matter. We matter. Even if y'all ain't together, you still matter, man. So I just want to know where the daddy is, and that's that. And I think that's where we're looking at this particular situation.
Yep. All right, madam, take us home. Well, I'm gonna say something.
I love that Kenny got such a big heart, but F that. Look, my son's punk ass father wasn't in his life either, so I had to deal with a lot from him taking advantage of me as a single parent. I called the police on my son so much they knew his name. They started sending one particular officer over there that would sit down and talk to him. I said, you can take him. And they said, look here, we take it from your mama. You ain't going to be protected. You're not going to disrespect my house like that. And let's be honest, even if there's something mentally wrong with him, as angry as he is, he could hurt her. If he would do all that damage to your house, he would do all that damage to you. And I don't know if she has any more children or whatever in that house, but she has an obligation to protect her kids and to protect herself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you gave birth to him, but that don't mean nothing. People give up kids all the time. If the state tell you what you can't do to them, if the state say you can't hit him upside the head with a bat, then the state needs to come and get him and help deal with him and give him medication to get him straight. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry that she went through that and all this is going on in her house. I'm sorry that she probably don't have a father in his life because he probably a sorry sack like my son's father was. But we got to start figuring it out because mothers, sometimes we produce some sorry Black boys by letting them get away with murder. Because like that cop told my son, yeah, your mama can protect you in this house, but if you leave the house and try to act a fool like that, you're going to end up gone. You know what I'm saying? So
that's exactly what I'm talking about. Exactly.
What's right. Even if that means calling the police on her son and letting them scare him straight. I don't care if he's 270 or 71 pounds. You're not going to act a fool in my house and tear up something I done worked hard for. That don't mean what happened to the big mamas? The slow kids didn't act like that when mama was alive. We all had cousins that were slow and stuff, and they didn't act a fool like that with big mama. She would have stomped a dent in him. That's clearly a household with no business.
Bravo.
Yeah.
Bravo.
You know, I almost forgot the Cowboys won.
Bravo.
I'm sorry. We got to do better by our kids. We ain't teaching these kids and these boys nothing about letting them act the fool because they end up dead or in a bad situation. I call 911 in a minute.
Eloise Young turned 87 years old today. It's 11 of us. No father was anywhere to be found. I don't know nothing about no father whatsoever. And my mother stands 4 feet 6 inches tall. I wish we would tear some shit up in our house.
Okay, I don't have answers for domestic violence, and there are too many scenarios to try to attempt to exhaust this moment. The only thing I can share is we got to make good decisions, and some decisions you got to push past your tradition. You know what I'm saying? This world is jacked up, and so are the hands that we are dealt sometimes. But the best player, Kenny Rogers said it best. Got to know when to hold them, and you got to know when to fold them. And that moment there for me should have been a great fold. Like you can't, whatever you thought you could do, that right there, that's a level of destruction that, listen,
Right.
I thought somebody, grown men, was in there robbing your house.
That's what I thought too.
Yep. So I have no answers, and so I won't even attempt to try. But all I'm saying is make the right decision to not only protect yourself, but to protect him. That's it. What that is, I hope you got good people around you. That's it. And I can say that because I guess he wouldn't have done that if they were around you. So I don't know. Again, rabbit holes. Mr. Black, send your mama blessings from me and a very happy birthday. Thank you. Man,
Miss Williams, she's on it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. Let's go to the favorite part of this show. Lee Black is, oh man, look at it. A house divided. Look at you.
I don't ever look at the topics. It's very organic. And it's just so brilliant the way we started this show off talking about the representation of Black women, you know, by the Little Mermaid character, the disappearance act of Kamala Harris, and, you know, even the GoFundMe, how, you know, the exploitation of our sisters, you know, in American culture, all the way down to, you know, incident we just covered, which could be domestic violence, while Black women are screaming for help.
Yep.
Screaming for help. So why am I talking about House Divided? This past weekend, the movie The Woman King hit the movie screens, and we know that the movie industry is trying to recover. Now, if you're not familiar with this story, this is a story about Viola Davis. She's the heroine, she's the star, but she's also the producer behind this movie. And it took her over 10 years to get this movie made. This was a passion project of hers.
Wow.
And in short, this movie is about the Dahomey tribe. The history is a real true story about the Dahomey tribe, these warrior women. In fact, this is where we get the Amazon women of Wonder Woman from. This was a real live tribe of women in Africa that was some of the fiercest warriors ever on this planet. Some bad, bad chicks. And in this story, though, it talks about how they became rich, and they were one of the most powerful nations at this particular time. The Dahomey tribe, they made money off of slave trade. Their people, they sold in slavery. So now, why am I bringing this up? You know, before this movie debuted, Viola Davis talked about the fact that how well she needed this movie to do because representation matters, folks. And this was a Black female director, Gina Prince Blythewood, at the helm of a movie that they gave her $100 million budget, and they needed this movie to do well so that, guess what? Hollywood's not giving out money because they like them. It's about money, and they need this to do well so that we can continue to tell stories about our people. But guess who's leading the charge against this movie? Our own people. Right on Twitter, there's a campaign to boycott this movie, all because it's not woke enough, because it's the glorification of a warrior tribe, and they're not talking enough about the slave trade. And that truly saddens me. I'm not even angry at this point. It saddens me because I think about the collateral damage that this person is doing by starting this boycott campaign. And sometimes we don't see the forest for the trees. People, we have to use decision intelligence here. Sometimes we could be too woke for our own damn good and be our own worst enemy.
Yep.
There was a movie about Elvis Presley recently, and nobody talks about that Elvis Presley was a big bloated racist. We don't give a damn. He made good music and shook his legs, and that's what they depict. We looked at the Titanic, and Steven Spielberg did a movie on the Holocaust. Well, they didn't talk about how many black people died. They didn't talk about how many Jehovah's Witnesses died in the Holocaust. They was right there with them. But the depiction is of the Jews because that's the point that they want to make.
Right.
Folks, if you want to be woke about something, why didn't you wake up every time there's a President's Day? Because our very own presidents, founding fathers, they own slaves. Why aren't you out there picketing that? But you right out at Lincoln and President's Day buying white sheets and shit. So sometimes we could be so woke that we hurt ourselves. We need to support movies like this. Earlier, it came up about the Black Panther. They put money, Marvel, behind the Black Panther because they wanted to see would we come out and support it enough to make a difference. And guess what? It was one of the most successful.
He was going to say successful
Marvel movies in the history, and that's why they have another one coming. Sometimes we have
to
wake up and a literary license. But
if we
to be accurate historically, you're missing the bigger picture, folks. A black woman who's at the forefront, heralding a movie, trying to get it made so we can see more of ourselves on the screen. This is why we can't get there. Because while we're fighting all these other unnecessary fights, we're divided amongst ourselves. And I'm pleading with you, with all of the things that we see happening, and just on this show, talking about the black women, the last thing we need to be doing, folks, is criticizing black women. It ain't perfect. It don't have to be. Support it. Go out and see this movie. God bless.
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. I had to do a few translating moments for you, but great job. That internet is something else. Y'all, this has been a fantastic show, ladies and gentlemen. I echo the sentiments of Miss Toria about this family we got on this show. Y'all, they funny, they're opinionated, and they listen. I almost think they all have a little bit of prejudice in them, but
oh yeah, I do. I do.
No, I'm just teasing.
No, I ain't teasing. I do.
Yes, sir. I know you do. Everybody does. So, all right, y'all. It is final thoughts time. I'm not gonna mess around. Kenny, let me have it, brother. Thank you for being here today. Appreciate your segment. Give me your final thoughts.
Hey man,
Yes,
another show that we hit out the park. My brother Lee Black, my sister Devin Devine. I'm gonna let y'all make it today.
Yes, sir.
Because of the show. Y'all slipped some B's and some A's in there. But you know what? Today, y'all get a pass. Today, like Ice Cube, today is a good day. It's a good day. My final thoughts today, man, is Vice President Kamala Harris, baby girl, you got to do better, you know. But I'm supporting you because I don't agree with the disrespect. But I will say, I'm gonna say this about the political climate that we're in. We're around the corner from the midterms. I get it. The Republicans play dirty. The Democrats, y'all don't play dirty. Y'all got to figure it out. Both of y'all whack. I ain't gonna lie. Both parties are whack. Yep. But one thing I will respect about the Republican Party is they don't have a problem getting dirty and playing the game. So Democrats, y'all got to show up and show out. Then my last thought, my guy Brett Favre, you know what, bro? I gotta kick you out the Packers Hall of Fame, bro. You taking money from people that need it, and you don't need it for your little Becky to have a volleyball court. Nah, son, it don't work like that. Can't rock with you no more. That's my final thought.
Yes, sir, madam. Thank you so much again for giving us that news about that fool, and just thank you so much. Anyway, well, give me your final thoughts, man.
I want to piggyback off of the domestic violence thing. Like black women, let's be honest. A lot of us have been single parents raising kids on our own. You still have to try. You have to try, and I hate to talk about my own kid, but I tried lots of things. I tried counseling. I tried mentorship. I tried church, sending him to youth ministry. I even put blessing oil on his forehead and prayed for him. You have to try, right? But you also have to make sure you are protecting yourself, protecting your other children, and protecting himself. That boy in that video could have easily harmed himself. He could have easily harmed you. He could have easily harmed anyone in that house. You are not doing a disservice by calling someone and asking for help, even if they place him somewhere for a few days to get him some medication or something like that. But you do not have to accept abuse. You do not have, they don't want you to discipline children the way we want to. So you need to call on them to help you when things like that happen, because there is no right for us to be put in danger. And I won't even say anything about the father not being present, because let's be honest, it's a few sorry ones out here who don't care. And you on your own. So you just have to figure it out the best you can, but do not tolerate abuse from anyone, even if you happen to give birth to them.
That's right.
That's it. Thank you so much. Last but certainly not least, Aloysius Black.
My final thoughts is on the word representation. To me, that's what this show has been all about. And just how important that is. I don't know if you guys have been following the trend about the Little Mermaid. They're showcasing how little Black girls are in awe, of seeing her. And so just how important that is. And then I ended it with this movie, buzz about this movie. And I do hope it does well, because that's an important representation that hadn't hit the screen. We need to show it. And my last, time I'm going to mention Eloise Young, the strongest woman I know, 87 today, but who she represents and all she's been through, and even the beautiful Devin on this show. What I love about you, Sister Devin, I'm going to give you your flowers while you're here.
Yeah, man.
It's because if you've been following this show, she's been through some things, y'all. But just like in the movie Waiting to Exhale, she show up every week looking flawless, untouched, and articulate herself in such a way. And that's the level of representation that makes me proud and that makes me love my sisters so much. I'm proud to be associated with knowing you because of how you represent yourself, and you keep it so funky and so real, so raw. My respect for you is through the roof, and that's what we need to see more of. So bravo, sister.
Thank you.
Yeah. Even though you cuss a lot, I'm still going.
You gotta get your point.
That's it. Yes, sir. Yeah. Most definitely. My father, his birthday is today.
Papa David,
birthday.
No doubt. Papa David,
happy birthday to
Miss
Miss Eloise. Listen, y'all, we want to normalize Black love,
right?
And not, and it's not the way it has been misconstrued, but in its natural form. So I appreciate you saying that about Devin, and
sure.
I don't think Lee could have taken the words out of our mouth any better. So again, I don't roll with suckers, just so y'all know that. So, y'all ain't on here by accident, no way. You know what I'm saying? And even when we put up with Brittany, you know what I'm saying?
We love you, Brittany.
You
love
better
you,
not
Brittany.
cut my show off till I do my. I know
we love you. We love you, BA. We got
right.
you.
That's right.
She took him out.
Oh,
Brittany, you better watch it. You better watch it, Brittany. All right. Miss Eloise, thank you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Dad.
Miss Toria. Miss Eloise.
Yeah, Miss Toria, thank you for sharing so much. Again, we're going to normalize this thing, and I mean it. And listen, anytime we get our hands on something and we do it right, we do it big. And so that's what we're going to do. All right. So listen, y'all, this is my final thought so we can get out of here. I'm hungry, right? But I have a question for y'all. If I told you, what does pride coming before a fall look like? What would it take you? What would it take you, Black?
Oh man, I don't want to even. I don't know.
Oh, all right, Kenny. What would pride coming before the fall look like to you?
Donald Trump about to catch some cases.
Yeah. All right, Miss Devin.
Probably me not stopping what I was doing when I got that criminal trespass some years back.
Okay, and we don't even want to know what that is.
Stop messing up my
I don't even want to know.
That came out of left field.
I was in my 20s. I don't live there no more.
I'm trying to be
Okay.
good. I'm trying to be
Good.
serious. You messing around. Okay. Anyway. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Well, I'm not even gonna go back down to black. All right. So listen, here it is. If pride coming before the fall was a person, this is probably what it looked like. And then I'll share. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I know that hurt.
Oh my goodness. Listen. I mean, she got all of that back, right? Okay.
Now,
Listen,
what the
y'all.
hell was Maria trying to talk to that person about? They damn near ribs cracked, ass cracked, everything. What's she saying to him?
She said, did you mess up my gutter? Okay, listen. I know we're proud of this country, but I'm telling y'all, if we don't start being real about where we are in this country, there's a fall that's coming.
That's right. That's right.
And y'all think she took a bad fall? If y'all don't start respecting the truth about where we are in this country and stop being so prideful,
you got that right.
There's a fall coming.
That's right.
There's a movie that says Olympus has fallen.
Yep.
And Olympus is supposed to be this mighty structure.
Mm-hmm.
We're too proud, and we have too much pride for this country.
Let's
be honest, else there will be a fall. Listen, y'all, that's Devin, that's Kenny, and that's Black, and we're gonna see y'all next week on Monday. Peace.
Peace out.